what Mark just reminded me of when he's, I'm not saying doing his impression, but playing his part of Elmer, is, have you ever seen the film Bubba Hotep?
Yeah.
Have you listened to the commentary, the audio commentary by Bruce Campbell? He's Elvis throughout the entire commentary.
Awesome.
So yeah, I almost expected Mark to be Elmer throughout this whole recording.
Well, I can see how long I can do it.
I don't think we should do that, but maybe if we do a DVD commentary, he can be Elmer for it.
That'd be fun, yeah. But I did some special features that were recorded. I haven't seen them yet, but we recorded special features of as Elmer, just sort of, talking about my life since VAR has become such a massive success and what I've been doing, what Elmer's been doing. So we might share that sooner than later.
Yeah,
like it's about $10 so far over 3 months.
$10, but that's what is that in British pounds? It's probably $250,000, right? Yeah, £250,000 or something.
At the moment, yeah. No, it's more like £8.50, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So we could probably get a small flat in the country or something like that.
In the country here is super expensive.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially like the Brecon Beacons in Wales, where where the SAS train the army. It's like you can't build a new house. You can only build on where there's a current property. So if you see one house in the distance, if you can only build where that house is. You can't build anywhere else. So it's they protect.
Oh, I see. Kind of so they keep it sparse.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Nicholas, and of course Mark. And I want to kind of touch upon the film, but I wanted to kind of speak to you about horror in general, how you started out, how the film kind of came to be, and how you came to know and cast Mark as well. So how did you kind of start out in horror, Nicholas? What did you kind of like to watch? What were you into? How did you get into it the first time?
Well, I mean, I read somewhere that, horror films generally always find an audience. So I thought I'd get started with that to get name recognition. Excuse me. Voice crack sometimes.
But yeah, it's horror's kind of like you can have it can spark something in someone when you watch. Sometimes it's just part of a horror film that people can fall in love with as well. Like certain
what do you mean?
Like there's facets of horror film or comedy in horror that people can fall in love with. Not necessarily the whole thing, but like I'll give you an example. When I watch Fright Night or Night of the Demons, I love the comedy in those almost more than anything else. And they're not the the flashiest film, but there's something really innately lovable about the comedy in those, I think.
I don't know. I never really thought of Night of the Demons as a comedy. It just seemed like a straight horror movie to me.
Oh no,
that's got some humor in it for sure. Yeah. Not demons. There's Night of the Demons, which they get people confused.
Night of the Demons,
yeah.
No, are you talking about Demons or Night of the Demons?
Let me double check that. I don't want to make a mistake.
Night of the Demons has some comedy because Demons definitely does not. That's what's his name? That's Dario Argento.
Yeah.
Did Demons? Yeah. Demons.
Night of the Demons. Night of the Demons.
Yeah. That's more comedic. It's got some,
Yeah. So I kind of love that kind of thing. And so, how long did it take to kind of? Where did it kind of start? The Kingdom of Var.
Well, it started originally was just going to make it as a short film about 40 minutes long. Then I tried making an anthology film with that 40-minute short as the first part and another short as the second part, but that didn't like that too much, so I just combined elements of the script elements from the second part of the anthology and worked them into the second half of the Kingdom of Var.
Yeah.
So it took quite a while to write, about 2 years or so.
Was it difficult to kind of attach those two parts, or was that kind of a?
No, it just I was having a lot of difficulty coming up with like the last section of the movie, like the third act. But I don't know. One day it just sort of clicked to me, like why not just sort of use parts of this script, which I didn't like very much, and put them into this. It was about a woman who travels into a parallel universe, gets attacked by a demonic creature like Vars. So, that works. That's how the last part of the movie works, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And how did you what was your process for kind of casting it and getting the kind of crew together?
It was sort of like a first come, first serve thing, I guess. Pretty much just hired everyone online. I hired Mark. He submitted something on Mandy.com. Do you know what that is? The actor website?
Yes. It's actually UK based, Mandy. Yeah. So they started there.
So yeah.
That's how I saw the posting, and I was submitting to just about anything. It was like, it said paid acting, movie. It's like, okay. And I looked for, I think you were only looking for one. Everyone else had been cast. You were just looking for Elmer because he'd been the other actor Elmer objected to the craziness of the role.
Content in the movie, I suppose.
So he was kind of
his loss.
Was he in a similar position to you, Mark, that he was after a role in the film and he read the character and didn't like it?
I think he was. I think he thought it was too revolting and objectionable. So it's pretty crazy. And like I'm saying, anyone listening to this should definitely check it out on Amazon Prime. And of course we're biased, but this movie is pretty bananas. Everyone I know who's seen it has a pretty. It's pretty explosive in some ways. There's some things that will shock you for sure.
Who have you known that's seen it, Mark? Anyone I know? I know Danielle.
Our good friend Danielle, who Alex also knows.
Danielle
thinks it's bananas. Most of a bunch of my friends have seen it. Who are close acting friends. So I don't want to shout out their names because but.
Usually whenever I bring it up and someone's seen it, the first thing they ask me about is the basement scene, which we're probably going to get to at some point.
As we call the scene, which we'll talk about later.
You know what scene that is, right, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can touch upon that at any point you like.
Don't spoil it.
We don't want to spoil it because we want people to go and see it. Because
I was really happy because I've gotten to know you a little bit, Mark, and I'm really happy to support any of the filmmakers that submit to the festival that I've kind of found, the two that I found.
This is for the Isolation Festival?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
the UK one, there was a Toronto one, but the UK one was a massive success too. So
and Mark's film really intrigued me because it kind of had this flavor and character that I'm really
his
mystery.
The Wicked Muse thing he did?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was so creepy as well. And then as I slowly listened to Mark or read Mark's Facebook posts and enjoyed his content online, it's quite close to.
I know. Like everybody over the last little while, they've been doing all these isolation movies. They're shooting by themselves. I did that once in college. I'm never doing that again. It's part of the reason why I won't act anymore. So.
What was that based on? Why didn't you like that experience?
I just don't like acting. I don't like being in front of a camera. It makes me very uncomfortable. I don't mind acting on stage because there's a dip. Because I used to do that in high school.
Okay.
But on stage, you think people, the actors get really nervous in front of a live audience, and that's true to some extent. But there's a distance between the audience and the actors. In a movie, you have cameras right up close to your face. So they see everything. They see all your emotions. They see what you look like. It's just very unnerving. I know once Martin Scorsese once said that the camera is kind of like a microscope that looks into the actor's soul. I think that's very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that how you feel about acting, Mark? Or I know you love it, so because you're
but it's I know that feeling because I was an actor. I went to theater school in college, but then I took about 15 years where I didn't act, and I just was curious to get back into it. And I had the skills, but there was genuine terror. I started by going on stage terrified every time I was up there, and it took every ounce of will not to be physically shaking and noticeably terrified. And then when I started doing it on camera, it was a different feeling. So for that's actors that's something we have to overcome. And then you get to a point where you actually like the attention and you like, but
well,
I spent
I'm sure
15
you love
years.
it.
I do now, but I spent 15 years being a coder, right? So, and then cameras were never on me. I didn't even like having my picture taken. So I've been away from acting for so long. I became super introverted, and then it was like, now I absolutely eat it up. But yeah, I can identify with that.
Was that a gradual process, Mark? Did you get used to being in front of the camera, or was it like a moment where you had kind of some sort of clarity to it?
It was kind of a gradual process. I knew that I was good, so I had that going for me. But like, even in my first year of auditioning, going into the audition room, I wasn't killing it. Like I was nervous every time I was going in there. And then I'll tell you when it happened. It was, I had like 11 months. I thought my agency was going to drop me because I thought I was giving good auditions, but I just wasn't booking anything. And I was like,
was this just for stage or for movies?
This was like film and commercials. I was with my agency, and because they don't do stages. They're not interested.
But you've done a lot of stage though, right?
Yeah, but my background is stage. But I had one day when I realized, okay, this acting thing is not working for me. I'm going to give it another month, and then I'm going to tell my agency I'm done. So I started going into the auditions, not giving a care, and then I got so pissed off at this one casting director because he was being sort of rude to me in the room. And I was so pissed off that I left the audition thinking I failed it. I almost stormed back in and told him to go F himself, which would have ruined my career forever. And then the last minute I decided not to. And I ended up booking that gig, the one that the guy was so rude to me. And then I had like 4 commercials in a row. Then all of a sudden, just like that 1 month, I decided to quit and I stopped caring. So that's my advice to people out there. In acting, sometimes you're shooting yourself in the foot by caring too much. So.
Mark was in a commercial where he played a giant CD player.
It was a music video.
Music video.
Excellent. Yeah. So.
Did they let you keep that costume?
I wish. I really wanted to keep it. There's a pretty famous Canadian rapper called Classified, and he's well known in Canada and some other parts of the world too. But he did a music video and. I asked him, but he got to keep the costumes. So.
That's really interesting. It's really interesting, Nicholas, that you say that you kind of had a better experience on stage. And what's that energy like when you've both done that? And it doesn't matter what level, because it must be quite a thrill to be doing that in front of kind of a live audience. Because as we all know, in front of the camera, there's something a bit kind of, there's no kind of real audience apart from.
There's the crew.
There's the crew, but
an audience, yeah.
In terms
but their job is to stay quiet, and they don't want to. They can't chuckle, right? If you're doing comedy, the crew can't chuckle because the sound guy will execute them. Mm-hmm. But so there is live theater. You get that instant feedback, and it's electric, and it's also the chronology. If sometimes you're on stage for a 40-minute scene. You grow as the character emotionally during that scene. But if you're doing film, it's like you do a little sliver of 10 seconds and like, okay, cut. And then now go to your trailer. And then you have to come back and sort of as an actor, it's a lot of work to get the same energy you had 5 hours ago doing the other part of that scene. So you can still work. It's just it's easier on stage. It's organic. It all just sort of comes together. But it's also scarier because
and you have to do way more rehearsals. You have to do way more rehearsals.
So you got to know those lines. So you got to know your lines on camera too because they get paid by the hour, and they'll kill you if you don't know your lines too. But it's but you do multiple takes and there's cuts. So there's
absolutely you got a chance then. Yeah. But like you say, the energy drop that when you go away for the day and then come back, you've got to be in the same headspace as well.
Yeah,
it's you got to kind of rev yourself up. Like you've seen those takes of Jack Nicholson in The Shining, revving yourself up, hitting the bed with the side of the side of the axe or whatever it is,
the door,
the pillow, and he really went for it. And is it Shelley Duvall's in that? That she had the worst experience in terms of after, so she was kind of like broken as a person after.
Almost never recovered from it. Like she did a few movies after that, but I don't know. Like she's so
it's fascinating to where you kind of take yourself. Like like Nick, when you because I've never put a feature film together, but
have you done any shorts?
I've done shorts. I've done a lot of corporates that no one ever see, like corporate promos about a paper eating monsters in a business that basically it's about this thing about this company that scans documents, and then there's a monster in this copy room that devours paper. And I was really proud of it, but I can't put it anywhere online because they own the whole thing, which is really sad because it's quite a well produced kind of. It feels like horror, and
oh wow.
So there's quite a few things in the past, but after the end of October when I finish this festival, then I'm gonna shoot a lot more because I've got quite a few. I got this plan about this horror short based at Christmas, and I've got a family whose father is an actor and his two daughters are going to be in the film. So I've kind of got a free cast, which is a miracle for short, but as long as I don't drive them crazy. So yeah, that's a tricky one with the Christmas tree. It's kind of like The Possession, you know, the what's his name? Not Richard Dean Stanton, the guy that plays Negan in Walking Dead. It's with that film. It's kind of like The Possession.
Oh, is he a Harry? No, but he's I know. There's a Dean in there somewhere. There's three names. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he plays.
He's excellent.
He's one of the characters in Watchmen as well. But yeah, so I try and write as much as I can. And since I've been storyboarding the last few projects I've been working on of kind of fleshing out what I do, so I've been really happy. I'm making promotional shorts for a high-end breeding company. They're on this dog breeding company. So that's going really well, and they're really well paid. So that's kind of funding all my extra gear and outside of my regular Joe job and all of that. So yeah, it's tricky, but I kind of what I find frustrating. I've planned out so many shorts, but because certain things have fallen through, they never come to fruition. I end up having just storyboards of something I wanted to do. So it's incredibly frustrating. And the city I live in, Chester, it's a Roman city. So we've got these companies that do tours, and they've got the real armor. They've gone to blacksmiths to make the armor. So I'm making a short film with them in a country park where there's a lake and it's all miserable. So I'm going to try and shoot it like some sort of Excalibur, that kind of thing, but on a really small scale with a few characters and a horse and all of that. So that's kind of a big idea, but in a really squeezed, compact, dense idea. So it's a big idea in a small film. So that's what I'm working on. I just need the guy that runs his tour company. It's a promotional thing for him, but I've turned it into a short and an advert.
Excellent.
But he's saying, yeah, we can get horses in, we can get a Roman boat that's been built like for two people. I'm like, that sounds amazing, but can you actually do it? Because if I plan anything, as you know, if you plan anything around that and it doesn't, if they just turn up with one horse and you plan to shoot with two, you have to reshoot everything and replan everything, and it's a nightmare. So I'm trying to work all that out at the moment, which is a bit of a nightmare, but if it works out, it could be really good fun. It could look really great because I'm trying to shoot it in anamorphic. I've got some new gear, so it's kind of tricky.
So what was your question originally?
I have no idea. It's all going to be horror based. Like I'm just looking at your IMDb. Are these features the dweeb and?
Oh no, those are all shorts.
What's the dweeb about?
Why don't
Stars
you tell
me. I play the dweeb.
Is that you in the picture? Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, we shot that, I think, about maybe about 8 months after we did VAR, and Danielle's in it. It's myself and Danielle are in it. You know what? Go on Vimeo and watch the dweeb next. It's like about 5 minutes. It's you'll definitely enjoy it. It's very much a Nick short. Like it's really got his demented,
yeah,
demented horror style in it, and it was great fun to work with my friend Danielle, who was very, very sick. I'm going to say hungover during that. Oh, no, I mean,
quiet, Mark.
Drinking communion wine the night before. She was just a little too pious. Had too much communion wine.
Yeah, at the Taylor Swift concert, right?
I think that's what it was, yeah. Taylor Swift or Katy Perry. It might have been Taylor Swift, yeah, but she was...
Nick, what was that kind of experience like working with Mark and Danielle?
Oh, it was great. It's just the only bad thing was it was just so hot outside. We shot that day. We shot in a forest. It was just boiling. So, and it probably wasn't too good for Danielle either. But no, we shot in only a couple hours. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Good memories overall. Yeah.
And how do you kind of plan things out? Do you have do you do
This
do you
one?
storyboard?
Yeah, I plan everything. I storyboard, shot list, script. The dweeb though, that only took like a week or two to plan because it was a very simple, short. We all shot outside. Don't need to get any locations. Just went to a park and shot it.
That's great, and you've got like Mark and the energy with Danielle as well. It's based on speaking to them both a little bit. It's it must be completely crazy to work with the two of them.
Yeah, well, I'm planning on doing it again soon. I hope.
That's great. I don't know if
except that Mark's in the actors union now, so might have some problems with that.
Yeah.
How does that with a little bit of lack of knowledge? How is that?
Basically, being in the union makes it illegal for me to act. Since I joined the union, I've been
outside of union productions.
Yeah,
and Danielle's not a union actor.
She's not a union, and we used to collaborate on all sorts of stuff. So it's been challenging. But I actually just discovered a new loophole that you can do something called a digital self-promotional short. As long as it's under 3 minutes, we can break all union rules. So I've already talked to Danielle. We're gonna, and if you want to direct us in something, Nick, I mean, if as long as it's under 3 minutes, we can do the dweeb part 2, part 3, part 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible.
No,
you might have to resurrect one or two of the characters. Oh, sorry, no spoilers. That's why I said might, and I didn't say who.
Yeah, no spoilers for a 5-minute movie, Mark. Come on.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm planning to do more. But yeah, that's sort of the union makes it tougher for me to work on small fun projects. So
yeah, I'm
such a big deal right now. So
yeah,
more.
I wish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the Paperboy something that's coming out this year? Is it already been released?
It's been released.
That one.
Oh yeah, but it's out right now. Danielle's in that as well. You can watch it on Majimbo.com. No, actually, no, you can't. You cannot. It's out on a bunch of digital. The Toronto Short Film Festival has it right now, which you can watch digitally, and it's most likely going to be in the Sioux Film Festival.
Did you submit it to that?
Yeah,
because I saw that you submitted 2 films to that. What was the other one?
Guru, which I wrote. They start in, so we'll see if they get in. I better get in them. I'll be upset. But yeah, that's Paperboy. Actually, it hasn't been released anywhere. It's still doing the festival circuit, but you can view them on these festival sites.
Yeah,
so
that's great. So I just wanted to have because I love. I'm very curious about all of these
shorts.
Yes, and what's Dana?
Dana.
Dana, sorry.
Dana, yeah.
Sorry, Dana, yeah.
Dana.
So what's the premise of that?
That's a slasher film I made. It's the first one I made. It's quite disturbing.
Oh, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's on Vimeo. That's the only movie I've made that's been shown at film festivals so far.
And that stars John Miori and Scarlett Taylor Rose. Just giving a shout out to 2 actors we know. So, and another person I forget.
John Miori, Sam.
John Miori and Scarlett Taylor Rose and someone else. Yeah.
Sam Lowen. I don't think you met her.
No, I don't know.
But,
so I'm just looking at John's credits, and
he's got like 100 acting credits.
It's a lot of horror as well, which is great. I love horror.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a character for sure.
What's the premise of that?
Dana, yeah.
It's a romantic comedy and a slasher movie, and there's some intestines in it. I don't want to say much more.
Okay,
than that.
That's great.
But anyways, they showed it at 2 film festivals.
Yeah.
One in Toronto called the Spring of Horror Film Festival, and someone in the audience gagged during one scene.
That's good.
That's great.
Yeah,
that is great. That's what you want.
Yeah. The other one was the Hamilton Film Festival here in Hamilton, where they showed it to an audience mostly of elderly people. That wasn't too fun of an experience to sit through. Didn't seem to enjoy it very much.
Oh no, that's like when I watch stuff from my parents years ago, like horror, whatever. It's not the right kind of audience for me in terms of shared experience.
It's had like lots of my shorts. They have twist endings. Like the Dweeb has one, Dana has one. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And what I'm happy to do as well when we post this is we'll embed the. Are they open on Vimeo?
Yes, I have a Vimeo site. They're all most of my shorts are on Vimeo.
And there's no like password protection or anything like that.
No.
So we'll post that. We'll make a thing about it, about the
terrific,
your shorts as well. And what's Polydoris and Cordelia?
That's a short I made before I met Mark in 2016. It's
I really like that one. It's excellent. I think that's like 12 minutes or so. It's a little bit longer.
It's 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's really good. And I think actually after you met me, the quality of your work started to go down a little bit. And I'm not, no, I'm just kidding. No, but I think that one is a really excellent one. It's just got a really creepy vibe to it.
First of all, that one got rejected from about 20 film festivals. You can watch it and see if it was justified or not. I don't know. I can't have an opinion on that. But anyways,
when those get rejected, sorry to cut you off, but when those are rejected, do they ever give you an explanation why?
About 1% of the time they do, yes. I got one rejection letter from Dana, which said the movie sucked and I was an ass for making it. And I got a rejection letter from the Blood in the Snow Film Festival, which, do you know what that one is, Mark? You heard of that one?
Oh, yeah, I was there last year.
Oh, yeah, we were there last year. What am I talking about? You saw the night.
And they told you to submit it to Shock Stock.
Well, they recommended it, but they said they can't take it because they didn't get enough votes for it or something, but they thanked me for submitting it. So at least there's that. But usually it's just a notification on Film Freeway that says was not accepted. That's about it.
Yeah.
But that's whatever. I don't care. But anyways, Polydoris and Cordelia is about a woman who moves into a house where a gruesome murder occurred, and she feels very compelled to move in there. And she's a horror novelist, and she starts experiencing very strange supernatural events in the house, and it goes from there, and it kind of becomes impossible to escape from after a while. So
that sounds great, and I really do like the posters or the artwork for each of these.
I made those.
Yeah, they're really good, and it's like a negative, isn't it? Like a negative look on the house.
Yeah,
and I think that looks great. And
looks like a 70s type thing is what I'm going for.
Exactly. Yeah, it reminds me of I don't know if you ever watched it, Millennium TV show, but the very beginning of every episode of Millennium, the kind of X-Files spin-off.
The X-Files spin-off, yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched it.
It starts in negative look on a film, and then it turns to color, and then starts. So yeah, it's kind of cool that. And then we come to the Kingdom of Var, and I really like what you've done with the artwork for that. And it's kind of a.
Yeah, I made another poster for that. I haven't released it yet, but it's very like a retro 50s B-movie style poster, like something for like, the giant. Like
the Blob or something.
Yeah, like the Blob.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, like speech bubbles and all sorts on it.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the Kingdom of Var, and how did that kind of come about? And
well, I told you it was supposed to be a short and it became a feature. That's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where the actual idea for the story came from. I just who knows, right?
Just normal demented ravings and dreams and nightmares.
This wasn't based on a dream I had. The one movie that was based on a dream I had was Dana. That was based on a dream I had. And it's very similar to how the movie turned out.
So, based on that, do you keep like a dream diary for kind of ideas for films?
Yeah, I used to. I don't
anymore. Or
something? Yeah, I used to. I have tons of notebooks. I used to keep a dream journal for about 9 years.
Oh wow!
And I stopped in 2017 because it was just getting too exhausting to keep up with it anymore. But I got some pretty detailed descriptions of dreams, and I might post some of them someday.
Yeah, that's great. I think like revisiting ideas sometimes.
When you like if you start writing them down, you'll start like, okay, writing a short paragraph of a dream, and then it'll get longer and longer. And the more you keep it up, the easier it is to remember your dreams. And when you stop, you start forgetting them again. So, you know.
Oh, well, that's really, I like that as an idea.
Yeah.
Like imagine the idea of someone trying to keep on top of their memories by writing every day, and then based on distractions or some like stopping that.
Here, maybe I'll get one. I can see it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, what's he getting for us?
He's one of his dream diaries.
Oh,
he's gonna walk back into shot as Freddy Krueger now.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some pretty disturbing stuff in those diaries. So.
Yeah.
No, it's you know, I joke, but it's you know, like he's very humble when he talks about his writing and where it comes from, but the actual content of his horror shorts are pretty unique and very creepy. So it's just fascinating. So I'm looking
forward to watching them.
Yeah. And at some point ask him he's written a new feature, and we're working together on bringing that into reality, hopefully in the next year. So
I know everything's just fucking like a grenade's being thrown in. That's what it feels like, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and it's you know, as you can tell by my colorful Facebook persona, you know, that's,
I love it. I love it because it's not a don't give a fuck attitude, but it's like everyone needs to get a fucking grip.
Yeah,
that's what I love, because that's the kind of people I like to surround myself with, Mark. So
and I do it out of love. I mean I try to keep a sense of humor about it, but I think there's some genuinely scary stuff happening in the world, and I'm like, hey, just pay attention to this, and you know, some people are mad at me because you know, whatever, I can come off cranky, but
yeah, but people need to just light the fuck up.
A little bit, yeah.
It just winds me up. Like what the post I really loved was, this is a compliment. This isn't a backhanded compliment. It's definitely a compliment. It's that post of your house with your dad and your friends.
Oh yeah.
And that felt like a 2005 Facebook post when everyone thought it was a great thing. Oh, this is so nice to reconnect with people. But to see that now was fantastic because.
What were you guys talking about while I was gone?
How about you mostly, but yeah.
How miserable people are on social media.
Did you guys lose me?
I can see your back, but I can hear your voice.
We can hear you, yeah. Let's see what's happened to him.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah,
we were just talking about how social media and people need to lighten the fuck up now.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and I posted that nostalgic.
That's a great picture. It's Wonder Years
thing from the '80s, and it's like you know, it's when I was in the '80s, you don't think of it as nostalgic, you know, because we watched everyone was just obsessed with the '50s and the '80s. We watched Happy Days and Grease, and and everything, you know, in Wonder Years, everything was about nostalgia for the 50s.
I don't know. I mean, Happy Days was pretty dark, Mark. You know, it's a very disturbing show.
I think are you trying to wind me up here, Nick? No, but it was but now there's a lot of nostalgia about the 80s, including Stranger Things, which is sort of dark. But the 80s were pretty darn idyllic. I look at those pictures and I was like, yeah, things were pretty. I just wish you could somehow get this back to something resembling that. Then, you know, like.
Okay, you want to hear one?
Absolutely.
Yes, let's hear
so if you can, for the audience, if you just get a little bit of context what this is.
Yeah, this is from a dream journal of mine. So this is from July 15th, 2015. I go to the movies. First film is some sort of Ghostbusters remake, which I become part of. And the second film is a Pixar-like film about anthropomorphic eggs, like Toy Story meets Alien. We become horrified when their companions are cooked and eaten. The film ends with the guy who owns the house with the fridge the eggs are contained in, looking into the trash and seeing 6 eggshells singing, which horrifies him. Then the film fades out. I think that I really like this film. I then go to a karate tournament where everyone eventually turns into vegetables. How's that for a movie?
That's awesome, man.
Well, I don't know. The anthropomorphized alien eggs and discovering them in your fridge. That's a filmable scene. That just blows my mind. Okay, we got to do
lots of stuff from Dreams filmable.
So
I didn't really learn anything about dreams from keeping the journal, though. Just that they're just wild and incoherent.
Oh, absolutely. When did you write that?
July 15th, 2015, I think, or June.
Oh, wow, that's
15th,
fantastic. That's great. I love it. I absolutely love that. There's something. I know everything takes time. Like doing a horror festival, making a movie, writing a movie, creating a piece of art. Anything takes time, but I think there's something to be said about spoken word about your dreams, about your diary entries. I think there's something in that because that's really interesting. I'm listening to. Let me tell you about this.
Yeah, like I don't really do it anymore. Maybe once in a blue moon I'll write one down, but like I said, it just after a while it just gets so hard to do.
Is it because of the time of the day when you get up and you think, I've got to write it now?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
But I think it's that's fascinating.
Maybe I just lost interest in doing it. That's possible. But some of my dreams are pretty weird. Good movie ideas. Some of them are like, really like old movies that are grainy and faded looking and have really like bassy sound, which is like the movie Grindhouse, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love it. I almost want to hear these each week.
Well, maybe I should.
We should just dig through that and find something in there, man.
Yeah.
There's like definitely filmable stuff.
Mark said he was thinking of starting his own podcast. Maybe we could do that.
That's a segment. That's a great segment or something. Yeah.
You're banned from my podcast. Sorry, Nick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I actually do. I would like to have you on the podcast, and absolutely. So
that's great. So
we could have a whole episode devoted to fast food, right, Mark?
Yeah, I can talk about fast food for a long time.
Just
mostly me and Danielle. Like when we get together, we get so passionate about just food in general that it's kind of hilarious. And I think people need to listen to it. So maybe we can monetize it.
Wait, what was that? What was that? A food podcast you do with Danielle?
No, I was saying we should. We should do an episode of me and her talking about food. We did a web series when we first met about 5 years ago called Cooking While Hangry, and they're still on YouTube. And that's kind of what I found my agent as a result, because my agent saw Cooking While Hangry and thought I was pretty funny.
I'm going to make a note of that.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's just me and Danielle just getting really angry about trying to cook a recipe, then getting angry at each other. That's we did 6 episodes, and they stand the test of time, I would say.
So, can you, Nicholas? Can you tell us a little bit about the production of the film? How that went?
Went pretty good. Not very stressful for the most part, except that all the crap that Mark was giving me, But that's neither here nor there. I mean, just kidding.
I was so demanding on set. Yeah, go on.
Like I said, most of the film was shot over about a week and a half in the summer of 2017. Then we did pickups and spread out over a year and a half, which was very annoying because it took so long to edit the movie. And it still wasn't long enough, so I just had to keep adding stuff until it got to 80 minutes. So I didn't want it to be like an hour long,
Yeah, absolutely. And were those kind of extra content? Were they scenes that you'd already thought about? Was it brand new kind of content for it?
It depends. Like some of the stuff with Maddie and Matt Sears, those were scenes I was conceiving for a new script, but I couldn't really think of an idea for the script outside of those scenes, so I just added them into this one. I thought that's about it.
That's cool. And how was Mark to direct?
Very interesting.
I think I pretty much nailed it in one take, didn't I? Like I was pretty much bang on.
Well, yeah, we only did a couple of takes for most of the scenes, anyways. So yeah.
I think I could tell when I watched the film. I think I could tell you enjoyed working with Mark because
I enjoyed working with everyone pretty much.
Oh, that's great, and it's just because Mark's characters seem to get more and more creepy, and the way you shot Mark's scenes as well, and I kind of love that, and that kind of the development of characters over the film, and I think that's why I really enjoyed Mark's character because it was kind of so kind of stand out and original and very, very, very creepy. But yeah, that was my favorite thing in the film. But yeah, it's so what made it difficult? Was post-production the most difficult thing, or was it trying to?
It wasn't difficult so much as that it just took a long time. And I guess the last pickup day was kind of rushed. That was a little difficult maybe, but yeah. Because like I said, I storyboarded the movie, so it wasn't hard to shoot. I already knew what I needed.
In your head, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what are you kind of working on at the moment? Have you got any shorts or features in mind?
Well, I just sent a feature script to Mark yesterday. I don't know if you read it, but we were discussing. Did you read it?
No, not yet.
Oh, we were discussing producing it. I don't want to get into details, but it's haunted house.
I read the pitch Bible, but it's haunted house, and it's pretty exciting. We're not allowed to talk titles yet, but it's haunted house.
I don't think we should say the title yet. But...
Okay, we have some actors and actresses in mind.
Yeah, I don't know who you have in mind, but you should tell me.
There's one that we mentioned at least. So
yeah,
our friend who we mentioned 100 times already in this. So,
well, she's got like the burst of energy, like in what's those series of shorts you've done with Danielle recently, or I saw recently on YouTube?
The Facebook. Green Kite ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those actually did. I did those 3 years ago that I wrote. Yeah, and it's I released them to the web and never did anything with them. So I just every year I roll them out again just to get attention to them because I don't want people ever to forget about me. But yeah, Green Kite was it was a office comedy concept that I had because I actually owned a software company called Green Kite, and for 8 years, and I had like a large staff, and that character's kind of like me in a way. But yeah, so and then I'm also working on a web series in development right now. I don't know if I can give too much away, but it's an office comedy with a slight horror twist to it, but we don't play up the horror part. It's just one of the characters has something horrific about him, but nobody really mentions it. It's there, but it's not central. So I don't want to give it away because I think it's a really tight idea and people are going to steal it. But we've got some money together for this one, actually. I'm pretty excited, and we're likely going to be shooting early 2021. About 4 episodes, do them about 4 minutes a piece, or we could do 6 episodes, 3 minutes a piece. I'm not really sure yet, but it's we've got a script, we've got money, we've got a team. We just gotta make it happen. So
well, that's it, because you can start out with good intentions. It's just that there's that huge hurdle to jump over, isn't it, of getting it fucking started.
Finding a location, finding an office location is the big hurdle right now. It's like, okay,
you could just film at your house, Mark, right? Just film it at your house.
My wife will not let me film here. Wicked Muse is one thing, but she does not want a crew tramping around on her beautiful hardwood floors. That's just not going to happen. So,
is that based on previous experience at the house?
Yeah, I mean,
we filmed one thing here, and I said, "Oh, it's not going to be a big deal." And there's like 6 people walking around with shoes up and down the stairs. She's like, "No, this is not going to happen. Get the fuck out of here." So, no, we finished that day, but there's no more filming in my house, unfortunately.
Yeah, I am. A couple years ago, like I'll say, the bigger the crew size is, the more damage you're gonna do to the locations, generally speaking. And I worked as a set dresser on a Hallmark movie a few years ago called Entertaining Christmas with Jodie Sweetin from Full House.
No kidding.
Yeah, I did. I didn't meet her, but I did see her walk by. Anyways, yeah, we shot some of the movie at this big country club in Hamilton, and just...
Is that who they get when they can't afford Candace Cameron?
I think it's the other way around, but we won't go into that.
Okay, sorry. Just me being a jerk. It's all right. Just go.
No, but yeah, just they won't allow filming there ever again because it's just
right. What kind of damage are we talking about? Is it like?
I'd rather not get into it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
The film crews across
just a lot of people being really frantic. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Film crews are just the worst people, is what I'm saying. Oh, I mean, wait, I'm in this industry. I shouldn't, I should probably try and ingratiate myself to people in my industry.
Yeah, that's your next Facebook post, isn't it?
Yeah. I think when they see my Facebook posts, as cranky as they are, they read them in my voice, which is also sort of sarcastic sounding, so they kind of forgive me a little bit.
You'd fit in well here, Mark, because most people are sarcastic bastards like me.
Yeah, you guys practically invented it there. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I grew up with the pythons, and
I'm like every day I'm sarcastic, and I don't tolerate. I suffer fool's. You know what I mean? Like it's just I can't stand people that are just moaning bastards for the sake of it. And
Like Mark?
no, Mark. I when I read Mark's messages, I know where they're coming from now. Like if I read those and I didn't know Mark a little bit, then I totally go, "What the hell is he talking about?"
who is this asshole? Yeah, when people add me on Facebook, like I just had a casting agent add me today, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's going to go down my wall and he's going to immediately block me," and he realizes, he thinks I'm an asshole. But yeah, it's good to know that people give me cut me some slack because
because people that have got a bit of a memory of life or online and that can remember when we weren't just the PC brigade.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so tiring. I just feel exhausted reading about so much of this bullshit that's going on in the world,
And
I understand.
At the risk of getting
in
in trouble, most of the people who complain are usually not the so-called oppressed minorities. A lot of them have good senses of humor. It's usually, rich white chicks and horn-rimmed glasses. Okay, I'm going straight to hell for that one, but it's true, right? It's like it's usually people who are offended on behalf of someone else.
Oh,
right?
That's the worst. That is
so
the
it's
worst.
like most people have a good sense of humor about themselves. So, and let's all join the brotherhood of men and women and other. And
like
just love each other.
I want to see that. I want to see that sarcasm in some of your work now, Mark. I really do.
I'm a little bit scared to use it. It's already out there now. It's on the it's on this podcast. But yes, I'd like to.
Well, I mean, I think we can all agree that The Kingdom of Var does not make any pretenses towards being a politically correct movie in any sense of the word, right?
No.
Would you agree?
No.
I would totally agree that it's. The thing is, though, you should go into a film with like, this is what I want to make. Like, I understand messaging within films and what you're trying to say, but don't try and, when it comes across as rhetoric and like rah, 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 then I'm not going to listen to whatever you're saying. If it's from a creative point of view and it's a great story, I'll listen to or watch almost any story. But when it's really obvious what's trying to be said, then I'm just going to switch off.
It's so condescending when people try and put a message and teach us. What's really difficult to do.
It depends on how they do it. Yeah,
if they just make us care about a character and make them go through a change that's surprising.
And you can have a message that I might disagree with personally, and I still can think it's a great movie or a great story. Now, there was a movie on TV today that I watched some of that I've seen many times. It's a movie from the 50s called The Big Country. Have you guys seen it or heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
With Gregory Peck. That's a terrific, excellent movie. I love it. But I don't agree with the message it sends that basically it's like a super pro-pacifist movie, and I'm not a pacifist. I think that pacifism in many ways is like tolerates violence and helps perpetuate it because it doesn't do anything to fight against it. So which is why you couldn't have pacifists deal with people like Adolf Hitler, for example. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, send them a sternly written letter.
Yes, that might help. Yeah.
Send that to Hitler.
Yeah, it just doesn't help in that scenario. Absolutely not.
Yeah, like my question for a pacifist is: if you see a child getting beaten in the street, will you intervene using violence to save him or her? Right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and most of them probably would, even if they wouldn't admit it.
Yeah, that's just there's levels of bullshit of what people believe in. And
now, with that being said, yes, I still think it's an excellent, terrific, great movie. Gregory Peck is one of, honestly, the most hardcore performances I've ever seen him give in a movie, by far.
Charlton Heston.
Heston's in it. He's great.
He doesn't play a pacifist, does he?
No, he plays a violent, crazy guy.
Yeah, I thought so.
My dead hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh my god. But have you guys seen Touch of Evil?
Yes, of course.
Oh my god.
But just once.
Like
no,
how?
Sorry, who directed that one?
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles, yeah.
Oh, okay. No,
His
I
character in that is one of the most sinister bastards ever.
Are you thinking of the other one, Third Man?
No. The way how corrupt he is as a police
Oh, yeah.
officer, it's something. It's really next level, Mark. You've got to
another
watch
one of that is Gene Hackman's character in The French Connection.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
the corrupt
Popeye
cop
Doyle, yeah.
I've ever seen portrayed in a movie ever. And there's one scene in the movie I just blows my mind every time I see it, where Popeye is walking down a street. He's starting at one side of the street, trying to watch the drug dealers come out of the building or whatever, and he walks by a dead body in an alleyway, and you just barely notice it in the corner of your eye. So that's really terrific filmmaking, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, watch it again, see if you notice that scene.
That's great. And that's Freakin', isn't it?
Yeah, Freakin', Exorcist,
and
To Live and Die in LA is classic.
I love Freakin'. His
I don't love all of his movies, but
no, absolutely. Like, have you seen Sorcerer? I love Sorcerer.
I have no comment on Sorcerer. I wasn't crazy about that one. I know people like it a lot. It just didn't do much for me. But
his attitude towards filmmaking, I really didn't like. Is it Neon Demon? Have you seen that recently?
I did not see the
Nicholas. I think it's the same director as Drive.
I know what you're talking about. He did an interview.
Yeah,
the director that interview with Friedkin, and he was like comparing himself to Orson Welles or something. Friedkin's like, just get out of here. Was that what was happened?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was. It was Mark. You've got to see the interview between those two directors. It's really quite refreshing.
Yeah. Friedkin also did like a 90-minute Q&A. I think it's on YouTube. That one you should watch as well.
Check it out.
Yeah, so I totally agree. Like, I'm not a huge fan of everything he's done, but
yeah,
I was watching The Exorcist about a week ago, and those two shots when Max von Sydow steps out the taxi, and the next shot when he's in shadow in the doorway, there's some. There's like gold dust. There's like movie magic when certain moments happen, and it's just so iconic. And I've missed some of that in the cinema now. I went to see Tenet, right, and I really didn't like it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I read the Wikipedia of that. I'm like, okay, what is this movie about? I don't understand.
Oh, if you watch it, please just give me an email. Tell me what it's about.
Okay.
Explain it to me. But I think it's very self-indulgent, the film, and there's a technical issue with the film as well. The audio mix.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's so bad because everyone's behind a mask and it's muffled. Oh, God, I was really quite disappointed. I was bored. I was a Nolan film and I was bored.
I really loved Dunkirk, though. Like, it's I think he's one of those Nolan is one of those filmmakers who really goes for it, but sometimes he's a little too self-indulgent. But I thought Dunkirk was just really wonderful.
Oh yeah, there's some great scenes in that when the boat's turning over in the water and the soldiers are trapped, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's really quite good. Oh, and this is just this is not turning political or anything, but there was groups. The PC Brigade again saying, why weren't there female soldiers in the film?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's complete most bullshit thing I've ever heard, because there's female nurses in the film on those ships as well, and that's how it fucking was. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm going to say. That's how it fucking was.
Well, actually, it's not a historically accurate movie, because at the end, they show like 10 boats rushing to fight Dunkirk. But in real life, there are hundreds and hundreds of them. So yeah. Because he didn't want to use CGI, right?
That is one of the reasons. That's interesting.
I guess he couldn't use real boats or something.
Yeah, and the cost of that, because the cost of everything he does is just through the roof. So what are you kind of guys watching at the moment, horror-wise? Watching anything?
Well, I'm watching a lot of really low-budget crap on Tubi. You know what Tubi is? Like the Netflix type thing? Yeah.
There's lots of, terrible horror.
Yeah. Well, some good stuff.
It's been a while since I've seen a horror that actually moved me. Like, what did I see?
Well, The Kingdom of R moved you, right?
Yeah, it did.
No,
Last time I saw something that I really gave a shit about, it might have been like 3 months ago when I saw Midsummer. I really
Oh
can't
my
stop
God.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
And because I watched it and I finished watching and said, I don't know if I like this movie or if I hate this movie. And then I like a week later, I still said, I don't know if I like this movie or I hate this. And like, and a week later, then 2 weeks later, I'm still thinking about it. It's like, it must be good because I can't stop thinking about it. So that's sort of my judgment of a movie.
It makes me think that it's one of those films I probably won't watch for at least 5 or 6 years again. I won't watch it for a while because it's made me feel so queasy, and obviously that's the whole point of Ari Aster's films. And I really enjoyed Hereditary and lots of it.
Oh God, yeah.
And especially the head banging on the hatch.
Holy mackerel, yeah.
And there's some seriously, like the way the film's shot, it's like shot like those dioramas she's making, and it's very, very clever. And Midsummer, it felt like Wicker Man in a lot of ways, because most of it's shot during the day, obviously. During, there's continuous sunshine, and it's such a grim movie, especially
Which version of the Wicker Man? The Nicolas Cage version?
Oh, not that one. Fucking hell, no.
The bees, my eyes.
Yeah,
there's only
might not see this, but Mark just face palmed when I said that.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've got friends that enjoy that one.
Oh man, he was gonna be Superman at one point, eh? Remember
I've
that?
seen those videos.
They did a screen test, yeah. It was just people howled with laughter.
I know. I remember seeing the Kevin Smith thing where he recounted that at the college. That was just hilarious, unbelievable, unbelievable. The pre-production of that, like adding giant spiders.
Was that the mechanical spider idea? Is that what went into Wild Wild West?
Went into Wild Wild West because it was the same producer. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Was that going to be a Tim Burton movie, the Superman with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, he's in the hotel room with Nicolas Cage trying the costume on.
It sounds kind of seedy.
Have you seen that footage, Mark?
No, I have not.
Oh my God, it's worth every single moment.
I haven't. I think Nicolas Cage's performance in Vampire's Kiss is the most WTF thing I have ever seen. Like, what the hell is that?
I respect him. I respect actors who go
I love Nick Cage.
Who they go like they make choices that other people wouldn't make, and it's sometimes you just fail spectacularly, but at least it's spectacular. So.
Why is Vampire's Kiss? I've never seen that.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it
where
either.
he becomes a vampire. I think he might have been on something when he was in it. It's the movie where you've seen that meme where his eyes are bugging out like this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it's from.
Oh, really? You don't say. That's the one.
No, he says, you have to do it. You have to. You have to do it. And he eats a bug in the movie.
You do realize, Nicholas, that if this is on Amazon or Netflix, I'm fucking watching this tonight.
Yeah, go for it.
It looks so bad. What's that gangster film? I can't remember the name of it. The gangster film, but it has vampires in it.
Reservoir Dogs. It's that one.
No, there's no vampires in that one.
No,
you're thinking.
I don't know. I have no idea.
The one with George Clooney, Dusk Till Dawn, right?
No. It's. I'm gonna find it right.
Who's in it?
I can't remember.
What's it about?
It's about the mob, but there's one of the women or a hooker that gets involved, and she bites one of them, and then the head of the mob becomes a vampire. I'm going to find this. This is so bad of me, but I'm going to find the name of this.
I have no idea what you're. I've never.
Know. Oh my God! It's when I find it, you're gonna love it. I'm gonna highly recommend it. I highly recommend a film I can't remember the title of.
Oh, I just saw another horror movie.
I know. Is it called Sicilian Vampire?
No.
No, it's okay.
I saw One Bedroom the other night. It's on Netflix. 1BR, and it's about some sort of cult in an apartment building. That was passable. It was actually passable.
Is there anything that you've kind of gone right? You've looked at the artwork or you've read the description, I'll try this, and then it's been quite a surprise. It's been quite good.
I don't know. I can't think of anything at the moment.
I watched
seen? Oh, yeah.
I watched a British film called Howl. I don't know if you've seen that. Werewolf film set on a train. And they get stuck on this train that's leaving London at night. And that's really decent. It's very similar to Dog Soldiers, if you've seen that.
Howl.
Yeah, that's really decent. I'm gonna have to. I'll send you both an email or message with the name of this film. I can't find it.
Is it a show or a movie?
No, it's a feature film. It's got Robert Loggia in it, if you know him.
Yeah, Robert Loggia.
Yeah. Sorry.
Where he's in Sicilian Vampire, you know?
Is it Sicilian Vampire?
He's in that one, I think.
Right. Oh, Jesus Christ.
The Frank D'Angelo movie.
Oh, Robert Loggia. Yeah, I'm just checking him out. He's
I'm so sorry. I have to find Innocent Blood. I think it's called.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Innocent Blood. Oh my God! Check it out.
Is Nicolas Cage in that movie?
No, Anthony Paglia is in it. You know, from the second season of Murder One. He's in.
No, I know who he is.
Without trying yeah. John Landis directed the film.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
It's got friggin' Don Rickles in it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think Don Rickles gets turned into a vampire as well.
Awesome.
But I'd highly recommend it. Oh, Tony Sirico as well from Kim Coates.
Oh,
Kim what about Embrace of the Vampire with Alyssa Milano?
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't? You have to.
Okay, explain why or who is complaining about the OK sign. Does anyone know about this?
Yeah, all of us. I don't really know why, but in the last, I've been doing it since I was kids, and it means okay, and I still do it.
It's been going on forever. It's a military thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's also a game you play. If you do the OK symbol below your waist and you make someone look at it, you get to punch them in the arm, which just seems like a great deal to me. But now I don't know, apparently that's canceled. So I don't really know why it's canceled, but it's canceled. So I just made it on camera by mistake. I'm sorry, everyone. But,
that's okay.
I was doing it to sort of signal how great Embrace of the Vampire was, but not that great.
And who was in that?
Alyssa Milano.
Oh God, yeah. The only thing I remember her from is
Commando.
Commando, yeah, and from.
And Who's the Boss with Tony Danza. So,
hey Mark, I laugh at Tony Danza. Do you laugh at Tony Danza?
I like Tony Danza.
I laugh at Tony Danza.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, no, please, chaps, check out Innocent Blood. It's I think Rickles gets turned into a vampire, and that's something. Don Rickles I've been watching so many of his clips over the last few years, and I've loved him since I saw Kelly's Heroes. Loved him in that. What a wonderful actor. So I think we'll call it an end to that, guys.
Sounds good.
But yeah, thank you so much, and I'm going to post this up on the site probably the next week or so, whilst I get some other content together. But I really do.
How long is this?
Check out Kingdom of Var on Amazon.
I'd say about 40
and Vimeo.
Minutes. Yeah, about 40 minutes. Yeah.
Because you want to see the scene that we're talking about. You have to see it. It's just worth the price of admission.
And it's available in the UK on Amazon Prime.
I'll just prime you. It's the scene where the lead actress, the power goes out in the house, and she goes down in the basement and fiddles with the fuse box, and just goes on from there. So that's the scene we're talking about. If and when you see it,
you'll know when you see it.
Yeah, when you see it.
Why did you say it like that? Anyway. Moving on.
Well, thank you very much, guys, and Mark, great to speak to you again. It's
really pleasure as always.
Nice to speak to you.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you kind of crack on with your podcast, if that happens, then I want to hear Nicholas's dreams.
Yes, we do.
Most of them are just horrible nightmares.
I know, I love it. I love it.
A lot of them play out like bad '80s Chevy Chase movies. You know, like Oh Heavenly Dog and Modern Problems. So they're just really nightmarish in that sense, you know?
Yeah. Nick, his career's all over the place. I did love Memoirs of the Invisible Man, the Carpenter film. I did enjoy that one. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and have a good evening. And
you too. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, same to you, mate.